Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar come workshop. Okay, so you might be wondering what exactly terms cybersecurity, cybercrime, ethical hacking, ethical hackers, these terms are what. So today in this lecture we are gonna learn basics about cybersecurity, how we could protect our computers from different types of hackers who can affect our computers and our networks by any means. Can The hackers could not only affect our computers but also steal the information, the useful information basically stored on the computers. Let let's now be brief about what today's topics are. A company's or a firm's reputation is mainly built by its team with endless efforts, and a small vulnerability in the system of running successful company can lead to social degradation of the whole reputation built. Now what these terms means? This totally means that a cyber hacker, ethical hacker, no, not a ethical hacker mainly, a red hat hacker could ruin the whole reputation of the company by any means possible. So let's know what exactly cybersecurity is. What role does it play in the success of a company, a success of a well-being of any mankind? So let's begin today's video. Okay, now diving deep into the topic of cybersecurity. Now let us know what type of cybersecurities really exist in this real world, or you could say this IT industry, this IT world. So, for an effective cybersecurity, an organization needs to coordinate its efforts through its entire information system. Elements of cyber encompass all of the following. So, the types of cybersecurity are network security. So, so what is network security? The process of protecting our computers from unwanted users. The networks from unwanted users is the network security. What are these networks? These networks are the topologies in which our computers are connected. Are they connected to LAN connection, WAN connection, metropolitan WAN connection, and whatever these you might be knowing? It is the basic topic. So the second topic, so the second type of security are application security. That require constant updates and security patches updates to verify that the users are safe in somewhat manner. The apps only get attacked sometimes by these hackers, which is a clumsy task. So, to protect against these unconditional errors and hacking attacks, the testing must be provided. This is on the application security. So, proceeding further, the third type of uh, security is data security. Inside network and application is data. Protecting company and customers' information is separate layer of security. Like you might be wondering what is this data, huge amount of data, what I am talking about. Okay, I will let you know. I can give you an example of Byju's. Byju's, you log in inside the Byju's app. You keep so many records. There is a complete record of how many customers actually are there. So, a huge amount of data is stored inside the big hard disks. The personal information, all the personal stuff of yours is secured inside the big hard disks maintained by these companies. So the main focus of hackers is to take out the data from this and modify the data, because this data is relevant in many manners. This can accommodate and let them know what type of customers are actually residing on these applications and using these applications currently. So it is a very big thing to attack this type of big databases maintained by big tech giants and these companies. So protecting our data from these hackers is the main form of data security. Okay. Okay, well and good. Starting with the topic, now I would like to give a brief definition what is cybersecurity. You might be also thinking what this term is cybersecurity. Is this something like security, like securing some things? Yeah, it is something like that only. Let me give you a perfect definition of the cybersecurity term. So, cybersecurity refers to the body of technologies, processes, and practices designed to protect the networks, devices, programs, and data from attack, damage, or unauthorized access. Cybersecurity may also be referred as information technology security, that is IT security. Oh, what a difficult definition. What does this mean in the actual life? What does this mean? What does this plays a role in the actual life? I was also wondering what might that be. So let me explain to you briefly. The cyber world or the IT world, which we know, is filled with hackers. Hackers are of different types. I will brief you regarding this topic in some part of this video only. We will know what types of hackers are, what their conditions are, what their qualities are. But let's now assume that there are hackers in the real life which affect the IT industries. So to protect our computers, the IT computers, the tech giants use these computers to store some data, the enormous amount of data. So to protect this data, actually some hackers are hired. This only the practice to protect the data from some unauthorized access, modification, deletion, and etc. Some changes is only the primary function of cybersecurity. Thus, it is crystal clear from its name only: cyber and security. Cyber means regarding some computer, some internet purpose. Okay, let's be clear with it. And security means guarding. So it's like the network guarding. And network guarding we provides us with an enormous amount of data which can be protected unauthorized access. So this is the main function of cybersecurity. Okay, let's do the video next. Okay, and proceed without any hesitation. So we go here.
Okay, from now here, you might be well aware what the term cybersecurity is, what its mainly significance is, how the cybersecurity works, and what are the backend features involved in the cybersecurity. But for being a well known of cybersecurity, the term ethical hacking is also need to be known. So, what is basically ethical hacking? Ethical hacking is a sort of hacking. But before coming to ethical hacking, you might wonder how this works. So we need to install Kali Linux. Kali Linux is an basically operating system, an open source operating system. Not like Windows where everything is fixed. Everything is just we are limited to everything in Windows. But in Linux, it is an open source system. You can file and any files and anything on GitHub. You can view the source files of anything of the Linux operating system and can review it and can also change it if you mean. If you are wondering how this could be so great, so let's begin with installing the Kali Linux. But before installing Kali Linux, if you are handy with Mac or Windows laptops, so you directly don't need to install Kali Linux on or dual boot it. Thus, to install Kali Linux on the Windows laptop or Mac users, you can use VirtualBox. Now, you might be wondering what this VirtualBox is. VirtualBox VBox, known as, is an Oracle-based product. You need to install it on your PC to run simultaneously the operating system Kali Linux. Here you can choose multiple operating systems. So let's start by viewing the video how to install the VirtualBox. So get started. Get handy with your laptops and computers and get started now. Now we go.
Okay, let's now start how to install VirtualBox. I have already told you what this VirtualBox is. Actually, VirtualBox is only a device through which Kali Linux can be run on a system alternatively. So let's now begin how to install VBox. Okay. So first we have to, so the step starts for Windows users only. The step starts with, we have to visit this website www.virtualbox.org. Okay. When you visit this website, now we switch to step 2. Now the step 2, this page opens. Here it is written download VirtualBox 5.2, something like this. Okay. Uh, Now I switch to next step. This is for Windows users, Linux users, and some Solar hosts. So we are actually doing this for Windows hosts. So we click on Windows hosts. This is the first one we have to do it. Just click on Windows hosts. Now see what happens next. Okay, when you install this VirtualBox, this Oracle VirtualBox is opened here. Now, setup wizard is open now. Now, to install the VirtualBox, just click on next. It demands for the permission to install by the Windows operating system only. Click on install. It is very easy step actually. Just click on install. After some time, a duration of time, the wizard will close and you have to finish it. Just click on finish button. And this is for Mac users. Now, what Mac users can follow is visit this www.virtualbox.org. Second step, the same step which is followed by the Windows users. Only here the selection process is different. You have to select OS X hosts, which is for Mac users only. The VirtualBox is downloaded here. Hereby you see, just double click or click it on virtual. Click here to install the VirtualBox, and now please click on continue. Continue will progress the tasks here. Here it will show writing files. It is the process for Mac to install files. Okay. After the VirtualBox is installed, it could be viewed by you. Okay. Now we here switch to the next video.
Oh, great work, guys. Now we have reached the first step. The culmination of the first step is thereby. Now you might be wondering how to install Kali Linux operating system on the VirtualBox. So let's get started with the step. The Kali Linux, the open source operating system, is a little bit difficult process to install, but I am here for the help. Let's get started with a small tutorial. Just view it. If any queries, if anything you want to ask, feel free. And now let's begin with the video.
Okay. Now we start how to install Kali Linux on our on our VirtualBox on Windows operating system. So the first task which we need to do is to download a ISO file. So what is the ISO file? To install an operating system, there is an ISO file which need to be downloaded. Without it, we cannot install the operating system. So the first thing is to visit the website of Kali Linux. Here I will mention it. So after visiting the website of Kali Linux, you have to just click on Kali Linux 64-bit or 32-bit, what your laptop modifications are, what your laptop compatibilities are. Mine is 64-bit, so I will take up the step of 64-bit. After downloading this ISO file, now we switch to next. Inside the VirtualBox, we click on new, the new one, and the new button. This is to create the new modification. Okay. This will ask for the permission of creating a new virtual machine. We create here by the new virtual machine. Here we have to select the folder of the ISO file where we need to install it, and we also need to give a specific amount of data which will be acquired. And here I am giving it somewhat 16384 MBs which will be acquired on my system. So you can take it manually, somewhat about 20 something, 20,000 MBs. Okay, create a virtual hard disk. Now you have to click on this create a virtual hard disk and click on the create button. Hereby your process will start. Okay, you can view this folder here, inside the file location right hand corner, extreme right hand corner. You have to click on this, click on this folder and select the ISO or the VDI file which you have downloaded, the 64-bit. Here I have selected 20 GB memory locations for the and VDI dynamic allocated. Actually, these are something similar tasks you need to do. So after selecting this, you have selected the ISO file and also allocated around 20 GB of the data usage, hard drive usage for your system. Now click on create. Now here is a setting button inside the file. There is a setting button. Now click on setting button. The next thing you have to do is go to display. Inside the display, you have to set this to the maximum. Video memory should be maximum. I have selected it 128 MB. It is upon your this RAM size actually, but maximum gives us the probable space which could be used. Enable the 3D acceleration here, and inside the network, actually you have to select the network adapter inside your PC. The network adapter inside my is Realtek. It is for Intel processors. So to get the preferred connection of internet, you have to select the network port. Okay, inside the network, now switching to storage, you have to go inside the storage, and inside the empty you have to choose the ISO file which you have downloaded. The ISO file can be selected by clicking on the optical drive disk icon, this CD type icon, and choose virtual disk file. The virtual disk file is actually the ISO file or the 64-bit or 34-bit ISO file of Kali Linux that you have downloaded. So clicking on it will proceed that, and hereby you go for it. You have installed the Kali Linux on it. Now the installation wizard will open. Now you select the graphical install hereby. The first thing is graphical install. Don't click on install. It will just install it on your PC and nothing would be seen by you. Graphical install is the type of installation. Graphical means with video. Okay, you need to click on graphical install and proceed to the next step. The next step is selecting the language. The language I selected is English. You can do whatever you want. Actually, Hindi is not here. Hindi is not this. So for Indian users, English is most preferable language. The next is here I have selected United States, where you can switch to India or the country you live on. So switching to the next, the key map to use. The key map is the keyboard which you could use. I've selected it American English. American English is preferred by me. You can go for anything you can want, but American English is somewhat similar and in use nowadays. So here is a configuration network. Continue it and just go forward. Now we need to enter. Now we need to enter the password. Manually enter the new password which you create. Anything. So I'm back. Okay. Now we need to enter the password. New password. Now just select Eastern. These are the simple things. Guide. Now you need to select this guided use entire disk. This is for allocating the memory space. So we have already allocated 20 GB memories for our operating system. So guided use entire disk is the preferable one. Select this and click on the next button. Continue. This is 21.5 GB GAT or SATA, whichever you have selected on your hard disk. Now continue. Now you need to click on all files in participation and continue this. Now this is participation disks. Participation disks is inside your hard disk. We have already done this. Just click on yes button and it will start installing. Yay, yippee! Our process is about to complete. Now configure the package manager will appear. Just use a network mirror. Just select yes. It default is no, but you have to select yes. Okay, and any proxies, no. Any proxies, now continue with your install the grub. Yes, this file you need to select and continue by this. Continue, finish the installation. Wizard will appear. Continue. Just enter the username, the password you need to enter, and hereby we go. We have installed the Kali Linux operating system on our virtual box, even on our Windows device, not even and dual booting our computer or installing the Kali Linux particularly inside our device. So here this tutorial ends hereby.
Okay, guys, great work. We have reached here. Now give a huge round of applause for all of us. Great. Now the next step, we would know about basics about ethical hacking, about system security, cyber security, cyber hacking, what these terms mean. What are the basic steps involved behind these? So let's begin with today's topic. Now here is a complete list of these things in front of you: reconnaissance, scanning, gaining access, maintaining access, and clearing tracks. What these terms are, what the heck these terms are. So I might be discussing these terms thoroughly, and by the end of this tutorial you might be clear, your mind would be all set about what these terms are. So let's begin. So the first term is reconnaissance. Now what does this term means? So let me read out the definition. So cyber reconnaissance can be defined as the tracking, analyzing, and countering of digital and cyber security threats. This type of cyber reconnaissance or cyber intelligence is a mixture if physically expansionist and defends the modern information technology. Oh, what a thorough definition. What a clumsy one. So let me explain this. Now exactly what the reconnaissance is. The reconnaissance is the knowing what the user is. On the user on which we are supposed to attack, we need to know the IP address, MAC address of the systems, the system on which it operates, the open ports, and different type of things. To know these different type of things and to know all the information regarding the user of the system or the person who is supposed to be attacked is known as the reconnaissance. So gaining the major information about the target is known as reconnaissance in the easy language, the easymost language. So now switch to the second term. What is scanning? But you might be wondering how this reconnaissance works. Actually, Kali Linux is handy with some tools with the beginning only. The Nmap, Whois, and different types of tools. We will discuss it sometime else. But today you might only think what this term is. You might understand what this reconnaissance is. So it is good and well to switch to the next topic, scanning. As I told you earlier that we can only access the target, the system of the target, only if we know the open ports. The open ports are the main defects in the system which leads to the cyber security threat. So the open ports need to be scanned. So the scanning term, which is normally this easy, scanning means scanning out something or to point at something, choose something. So in the world of cybersecurity, scanning means scanning the open ports to know the vulnerabilities in the target system by means of scanning the open ports. Open ports need to be scanned. So by means of this, the scanning term, we could easily get through the target and get through its system and even steal some of the information. So scanning is the major step, second step in this tutorial. But you don't need about this truly. It's just a simple one, just a small one. So let's skip to the third step. But before switching to the next step, let me tell you what the types of scanning are. The first one is the port scanning. I already told you we know about the open ports, the closed ports, and the vulnerabilities to the system. The second type of scanning is vulnerability scanning, checking the target for its weakness or vulnerabilities which can be exploited. Usually, it is done with the help of automated tools. These automated tools come with Kali Linux operating system only. That's why I said it in the mere earlier version, and that Kali Linux is quite a decent one, quite the handy one for a ethical hacker to be used. The third type of scanning is network mapping. Now let me give you the exact definition of the network mapping. Finding the topology of network, routers, firewall, servers, and these type of things is only the network. You might be wondering what is the need of this network mapping, but let me clear you here only that the topologies, the LAN connection, how the system is connected, how it is operating, what type of Wi-Fi connection it is connected to, all things need to be known. All things, all each and everything. Okay, so this type of scanning is prerequisite. If you don't know this, then you need to please. Now let's skip to the next step. So the next step is gaining access. The name itself clarifies it. What is the gaining access? Gaining access is to get the access inside the system. How to get inside the system? You have already known the reconnaissance step, the scanning step, but gaining access is the major. How to get inside the system to exploit every information regarding this system is the gaining access. So let's now begin what this gaining access term means. Okay, the gaining access phase is where an attacker breaks into the system or the network using various tools or methods. As I said, getting inside the computer is only gaining access. After entering into a system, he has to increase his privilege to administrator level so he can install an application inside the computer and thus modify the changes. Thus, this term might be clear how to get inside the system. This also requires some sorts of tool, but you might need to know this right now. Now, let's switch to the next step. What the next step is, let's view it. It's maintaining access. Maintaining access. What is this? Now you might be thinking, okay, I will clear it out. Hacker may just have hacked the system to show it was vulnerable, or he can be in so mischievous that he wants to maintain or persist the connection in the background without the knowledge of the user. This can be done using trojans, rootkits, or other malicious files. The aim is to maintain the access to target until the finish the task he planned to accomplish to the target. Oh, what this definition is. So clumsy one, so idiotic one. Let me clear it out. Maintaining access. After gaining access, the step is maintaining access. The maintaining access itself means to remain inside the system, to remain inside the system of the user or the target. This is maintaining access. But there are certain types of firewalls and security systems inside the computer which might kick you out, throw you out of the system. But to maintain, to get a planned position inside the computer of the target, you need to maintain the access. This is the next step. Okay, now it might be clear. After the access is maintained, you can modify the changes. So something else, you can track the records, pre-records, and something regarding the system. You can take out all the information, the email IDs, etc., from the system. Now let's switch to the next step. Is to clearing the track. What is clearing the track? You are not a thief, but clearing the tracks is something which is important. After getting the access, maintaining the access, now you have modified the information, taking the information out of the system, out of the target system. Now you need not be not be caught of the owner of the system. So before getting out, you need to clear all the records that you were maintaining the access. Otherwise, you might leave some traces like your IP address, your MAC address, your computers, different sources, your LAN connection, your Wi-Fi connections, details. You need not do this. So clearing the track is the foremost, the main important thing which you might need to do now, right now. To clear the tracks, all the logs, all the security patches, you need this right now. So you might now wonder what this clearing tracks works like. So the clearing tracks means modifying, corrupting, deleting the values of logs from the owner's system. Okay, now it might be clear. So these were the steps of the ethical hacking, which ethical hacking, or mainly we could say the hacking. Now the next topic for the day is types of hackers. What types of hackers are? We need to know this. So let's switch to the next. Okay, now we start our next topic, types of hackers. Hackers can be classified into different categories such as white hat, black hat, grey hat, based on the intent of hacking of a system. These different terms come from old spaghetti terms, Western term, where the bad guy wears a black cowboy hat. The cowboy hat looking cool, so much cool, like a dude. And the good guy wearing a white hat, the decent one, the white, the symbol of peace, the symbol of integrity. Okay, now let's switch to our main topic. What these hackers, the red hat, white hat, are basically now. So the first one I need to explain is white hat hackers. White hat hackers can also be known as ethical hackers. These hackers never intend to harm a system. Rather than they try to find the weakness in the computer, to find a weakness in the computer, the network system, as a part of penetration testing and vulnerability assignments. Penetration testing, you might be wondering what this term is. I have not cleared it out in earlier version. So penetration testing is the process which companies follow. So returning back to penetration testing companies follow. Companies are also vulnerable to these to the hackers. Their computers are intended not so secure by the time they buy. So they hire the ethical hackers to test whether they are vulnerable or intend to hack. So the main work of this type of hackers, white hat hackers, is to check all the open ports, the open systems which might cause the hacking problem in the big IT firms, which are leading the nation, the leaders of the nation. And so these white hat hackers are hired. Ethical hacking is not at all illegal, and it is one of the demanding jobs of the IT industry. This is a career opportunity, the best career opportunity known till now. There are numerous companies that hire ethical hackers for penetration testing and vulnerability assignments. Okay, now let's switch to the next sort of hackers, the black hat hackers. We could also know as crackers or red hat hackers. Red hat hackers, the sign of danger. The sign of danger. Okay. Red hat or black hat hackers are the sort of hackers which try to gain unauthorized access to a system and harm the operations or steal sensitive information from the system. These hackers are harmful in a way. Black hat hacking is also illegal in might every country. Every country bans this type of hacking. Nobody tolerates this. Even for this type of hacking only, cybercrime departments in each and every country, in each and every city, in fact, are built. Uh, these operations led by ethical hackers is to protect the system from these type of hackers only, the black hat one. So you might think, and everything must be clear right now, okay, what these hackers are. Now let's switch to the gray hat hackers. Grey hat hackers, this is the term between hackers and black hat hackers. Grey hat hackers are blend of both black hat and white hat hackers. They act with malicious intent, but for their fun, they exploit a security weakness in a computer system on a network with owner's permission or knowledge. Their intent is bringing the weakness to the attention of the owners and getting the appreciation. Their mainly target, I focus on their main target. Their main target is to get the appreciation from the owners by is getting the open ports, the vulnerability in the system without the known information of the owner of the system. So this is the main work of the grey hat hackers. Okay, now let's switch to the next topic. Oh great, now we have installed Kali Linux successfully and also known the types of ethical hackers, the main phases involved behind ethical hacking. So now you might be wondering what's the main use of Kali Linux? How does it work? It is an Actually it is an open source platform which doesn't function similarly like Windows. Windows has certain different keys, which keys, commands, which are user friendly. But in this, you have to activate it by yourself. Some commands are not that much familiar, but after some modifications, we can get it through. So, to learn the basics of Kali Linux, the basic commands, the basic instructions, how to operate it, we must learn and see a video tutorial just to be clear how actually the world of Kali is. So let's view the video. Okay, now go.
Okay, actually, I have downloaded a complete PDF of such so many commands for Kali Linux, but all of them are not so much useful. Actually, it is in alphabetic form. You can view it here, but I can only brief you some of the basic commands which can be used for Kali Linux. So the first command which I will focus on is apt-get. It is a command like in for Windows users. We can directly install the software by going to the Windows Store. Windows is actually platform, a good environment where everything is user friendly. But in Kali Linux, some things are different, and differences matter. Okay, I get it, but to install a software like we do in Windows, we only go to Windows Store, click install button, and that's it. The task is installed. But now for Kali Linux, we have to type the command. We have to type apt-get get. This command is for installing the softwares on a basic system. Okay, now it might be clear. Now switching to the next command. A good a good command for writers, etc., editors, is espell. Espell, you can see this. Espell is a spell checker. We make mistakes, and it is a very bad thing to make mistakes, but all of us make mistakes. So espell is a spell checker automatically provided by the Kali Linux system. So if you make mistakes, clear them up, improve over your mistakes by spell checker. Spell checker is a great command. I personally use it. Okay. Now switching to the next. Yeah, CD. You can hear CD stands for change directory. Actually, to change directory, you have to do it yourself to check this. Excuse me. You have to do it yourself. Change directory. You can change the directories, and directories are the folders inside Kali Linux. So to switch from one folder to another, we cannot do like we are in Windows. We have to use change directory cd command. Cd command stand for change directory. It is actually very important here. Okay, now switch. Chmod, change access permissions. Yeah, this command is extremely important. Every time I have to install something in our root memory, in our users root, in our root systems, we have to use this special command. So chmod to give the owner permissions to our system, we personally use chmod command. Chmod is used to give the permission to the user to enhance or to change inside the root system, or we could say what type we can refer to Windows. Okay, I can. Okay, inside the user interface, you can say to make changes inside the user interface or the main user Windows, you have to use chmod command. Now we switch to next. Yeah, this one I got it. Clear, clear. The terminal screen could be cleared by using clear command. It is same as in Windows. We use Windows clear command to clear the whole this interrupting paragraphs or something we write clumsy ones. So this command is extremely beneficial. Switching to the next. DAT date command. Date command is used to just display the date. DAT date. Simply the date. DC desk calculator. Desk calculator, to open the desk calculator, desktop calculator, you can use DC command. Yeah, this one free. This command free command is used to display the memory usage. A desktop is filled from a lot of files. Just to view the memory usage, how all the apps are just colliding over a RAM, how the memory is filled, how our hard disk is filled. This command is extremely beneficial. Now, this command kill, Vishnu, nothing like that. Okay, nothing shooting. Kill command is used something like similar. Kill command is used to kill the previous task or the task running on our screen. So kill command, you can type kill in the command and the app name which is running in background, and this command will execute you out directly, push you out from the app. Now switching to next. Yeah, I was searching this for this one. MKDIR. Uh, in Kali Linux, we cannot directly create folders. Like in Windows, we just right click and something like new folder is produced. Nothing like that. To create a new folder, you use mkdir command. Mkdir is used is full form has a full form make directory. So creating new folders is a little bit difficult task, but you have to practice it and make it easier for you. And so mkdir is very important command to create new folders. Sometimes we forget a password of how we log in. So to modify a password, we use passwd. And this command is only used to modify a password, previous password, change it and create a new one. Okay, it is crystal clear now. Yeah, this one. Test a network condition. How to test a network condition? We can use ping command. Ping. Okay, it is a bit funny. Ping command is used to test a network condition. You can read it. I will share this PDF with you. You can see, refer it anytime you want. Okay, these commands are, I think, somewhat enough for today. Now, let's not getting so brief in this. Yeah, actually, you can refer to this PDF afterwards and yourself figure out what to do and what not to do. So, I end this video. Now, switching to our next statements. Okay, now you have understood truly what is basically cybersecurity is and what ethical hacking is. What type of hackers are found in real life? What is the importance of cybersecurity in IT world? The huge companies hire ethical hackers. Why do they do so? So, talking about career opportunities, you might think, what is the basic use of this cybersecurity ethical hacking in real life? So let me tell you. The big tech giants hire these ethical hackers to test their systems for any open port, closed ports, network protocols, any hacking probabilities in their system so that their systems can't be hacked easily. From these red hat or black hat hackers, what we can say, the dirty form of hackers which are against the laws. Okay, so it is a basic requirement in the industry now to have these types of ethical hackers who test their softwares and computer systems against these different types of other hackers and protect their systems from being further hacked. This is a major industry, and we get a decent amount of placement in this. Okay, now I think we have reached the culmination of this video lecture, but I can resume it somehow after some time. So I will be back with my new video. Please subscribe to our Mozilla Campus Club channel. Thank you for watching the video. Bye. Take care and be safe.